Greetings, I'm Ella and this is my dad.
Adam.
And today we're on another AquaDog Jr channel. And today we're going to be looking at the double-necked guitar.
That's right. So when we were looking at another video to do, Ella said she'd like to know a little bit more about double-neck guitars. And a lot of people have seen double-neck guitars, maybe don't know a lot about them. They're made definitely popular by Jimmy Page of the band
Led Zeppelin?
That's right.
I was going to say.
So that he's definitely the most iconic example of double neck usage. There's been lots of other people that have used them through the years, and mostly in rock, but in other genres as well. The basic purpose being if you need to have two separate instruments and you don't want to have to switch guitars, it's a way to do that so you have both guitars at...
Wait, Dad, what if you don't have one? Then will we have to switch guitars?
That's right. That's the whole purpose of the double neck, is so that...
I know, but I'm saying what if you don't have one?
Well, if you don't have a double neck, then you have to switch guitars. That's right. So what I have here is similar to what Jimmy Page used. It's the Epiphone version of the Gibson, which was the model EDS 1275. This, I believe, is the G1275 made by Epiphone. But functionally, it's very similar. It has 12-string neck or guitar on the top and 6-string guitar on the bottom. So now 12 strings, typically they have doubled strings, so basically 2 strings together, each is an octave until you get to the last 2 strings. So they're doubled together, so there's 6 pairs of strings to get you to 12. So, but they did make other versions of this, like Gibson, for example, and there are other companies that make them as well, but Gibson made a mandolin. I think that was the EMS, or EMD, I don't remember what the designation was, but yes.
I have a question. So I know this one is to do the volume for this one, but I forgot which one's the one to this one.
Okay, well, we'll go over that here in just a second.
I know, but I have a question about that, so I gotta know which one is it is.
Okay, well, this one is for this one.
Okay. And then what do these two do?
Those are the tone knobs. So, yeah, which is a good segue, I guess. We can go over the controls for this. So you'll see that there's a number of switches and knobs on here. So these switches select the pickups for each individual neck. Pickups being the part of the guitar that picks up the sound. That's where the name came from. Pickup. So this selector, for instance, selects which of these pickups that you use. And so, for instance, when it's up, it's the neck pickup on this guitar, which is a little bit bassier sounding. The middle is both of them. You can hear that it gets not quite as much of a bass tone to it. And then down is the bridge pickup, or the treble pickup. You can definitely hear it's brighter. And so then it is the same for this neck. Down here, and this selector back here selects which neck that you're using. So when this is up, it's this neck. Middle is both necks are active. Down is this neck.
Okay.
Okay, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties. We lost, the card stopped reading for some, there was an error. So anyway, so if we put this selector down, we'll have the bottom neck. Same thing, same controls for the bottom neck. So now one thing I can show you is that if we put it in the middle, and if I turn up the volume on the top neck, you can hear the top neck a little bit when I'm... See, the top neck is active, so you don't hear it as much You kind of can on the bottom one, so I don't use the middle section selector
Dad,
very much.
So
What?
if like you use the bottom, why is the top going?
Because this is in the middle position, remember? If you put this switch in the middle, then both of them are active. Then they're both working.
Oh yeah,
So.
I already forgot that.
Yeah, well, it's all right.
I mean,
So very rarely that you would do that. But so if you're in the middle of the song and you're playing, I don't know, whatever, Stairway to Heaven or something. You know. You know.
is that actually how Stairway to Heaven goes?
Well, it's when it transitions, but yeah. Then you switch to the other neck to so, and then when you're done with that, you would switch back to the other. So.
I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Does every guitar that you own, or at least like in Wayne, have one of these things that the wire connects to the?
If it's electric, yes.
What if it's not?
If it's not, then not necessarily. Some of them do, some of them don't. It depends on if they have a pickup in there for electronics or not. But typically, well, not typically, just if it's an electric guitar, it will have some sort of jack.
How often do you normally see one like that, like a not electric guitar that has like one like down here, right here? Who knows? Maybe.
It's fairly common. I don't know. I couldn't give you a percentage of the time, but it's so like if you're using an acoustic guitar on stage, you need to have a pickup or something like that so that you could put it through the system so people out front can hear it. That make sense? Yeah.
Okay.
So, any other questions about the double neck guitar?
Yeah, I think I have one more.
What's that?
Well, not really about the double neck guitar, but like all the guitars that you know, or at least that you own, do they have the strings, like all of the strings? Like, does some have like these, or like? Okay, so how often do you see some like that has two?
That they're doubled up like that?
Yeah.
Only on the 12 strings that I have. Or like there are some other non-guitar stringed instruments, like a mandolin has four sets of two. So it has 8 strings, but they're doubled up, so it looks like you have 4 sets, basically. But of 6-string guitars, pretty much, there's exceptions, I'm sure, but most of the time, unless it's a 12-string, they're going to be singled like this.
Okay, I think I have like another question. Like
Okay,
a
what's
lot
that?
of questions. So, do all the guitars have like these little like? So these
Fret
so you
markers?
See, yeah.
The markers or the steel strips? Which one do you mean?
Like all of them. Like, do some have like numbers or
Sure.
like dots?
Yeah,
Or
they're just markers to show you different spots along the fretboard. To tell you this is the 3rd fret, this is the 5th fret, you know, this is the 7th, this is the 12th. 12th is a big one because 12th is exactly an octave above the open strings. So usually there's some sort of different, I shouldn't say different, but there's almost always something there. Like on the top you can see there's 2 dots for the 12th fret. Okay, so like on the 12th fret on the side, because there aren't always markers on them, and there's not always markers on the top for you to see either. But on this one there is markers on here, and then there's markers on the top too. There's dots to just give you an idea of where you're at.
okay, I have so many questions, but I'm probably just gonna do a couple, and then most of them.
We'll save them for the next time.
Or maybe
Sure.
some off camera too.
Okay.
So, do you see like these things like like those? Not the screws. I'm not talking about the screws.
pick
but like
guard?
the black stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do all guitars have those?
Not all, no. It serves 2 purposes. It serves to to protect the finish of the guitar from the pick when you're picking, but it also covers up electronics too. So under this, there's a channel that's cut inside or into the guitar that the wires run through. And so these plates sometimes cover up wiring, so you don't see the wiring there, and to protect the wiring.
Okay. Another one. Mm-hmm. So you see these things? Do all guitars have these?
Typically, yeah, because those are how you tune it. You turn that and it changes the pitch of the string.
So I have one more question. It's actually about the double neck guitar.
Okay.
So does the double necked guitar have, like, let's say the bigger one has these, but then the smaller one doesn't have any? Does that make sense? Like to you?
No. What do you mean?
Well, like, so does okay, I'm saying like only the guitar, only the top one has it, but the bottom one don't have the tune. Will that work?
Probably not, because you'd need to be able to tune both of them. So even if they don't have it on the head, there are some that have them back here in a different system for it. But one way or another, there's going to be a way, almost always, to be able to change the tuning of the strings. Because they will go out of tune eventually. So you have to have a way to be able to change the tension on the string. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is the double neck guitar on AquaDog Jr. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informational and educational, and I can't think of any other ational words. Fantational.
Don't get them confused. But I mean, I guess
anyone can watch it and learn.
You don't have to be a magician to know about guitars. You can be
or a musician, a magician or a musician.
Well, I never meant to say magician. I said it again.
Musician. Yes.
Musician.
On that note, we'll wrap up this episode of AquaDog Jr. Once again, this is
Ella. I almost forgot my name.
That means it's time to sign off. Thanks for watching, everybody. We hope you have a good one, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye, and subscribe, and...
Yes, hit subscribe, hit like if you like this, and we will catch you next time.
If you like it, like it. If you love it, subscribe.
There you go. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.